angelic voice right there. That ain't a voice. That's fly by night.
It's fly by night.
That ain't that. That ain't what this is. Okay? This ain't a gust in the wind. Nah, that's not what this is.
It's a marathon.
Come on, man. It's a marathon. This is not a wave in the current.
No.
Not at all, citizens.
Don't call it a comeback.
Nah, that's not what this is either.
No.
This is an extension. Boom.
Yes.
This is an extension of a beautiful journey going into its next dimension, its next phase with more information, more experience, more wisdom,
all that,
more patience,
man,
more understanding than who he was when he released his last project.
Yes.
Yes.
I know this brother personally.
You started the journey with me.
Talk
man.
about it.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Back in the Warner Brothers. Remember, we used to call Warner Brothers Records, we used to call it Warn a Brother.
I'm dying.
Because, you know, we used to go in that mug, be like, dang, y'all going to promote black music this month or what? And so, you know, it's like navigating through all that.
Yes.
Staying true to your own brand of the beautiful uniqueness that you are.
Amen.
And that's a message to all the artists out there who feel like, yo, if I got to stay relevant, I got to do this. No, you don't. You got to do you.
You got to do you.
And if you do you, that's your best shot at 20, 30 years from now, sitting talking to somebody like Sway and Tracy right now.
That's right, man. And looking the exact same. And
Come
we
on.
do have that shared struggle with Warner Brothers Records.
We do,
Warner
bro.
Brothers.
Warn a brother.
Brothers Records, man. Come on, man. This is my brother right here. Give it up for the one and only Eric Benet.
Yay!
He's here.
Yeah.
He's
Legend.
here.
Man, thank you.
Hey. I always tell the story, man.
Run it back,
Hold
Sway.
on. Wait. Which story is it? Which city was we in, man? Let's make sure we can tell us.
Yeah, no, I got you. We were in Philadelphia.
Okay. Those were good days.
We were recording at Touch of Jazz.
Yes.
Studios.
Yes.
It was me.
7th and Callow Hill.
Yep.
Woo.
Rich Nice was with me.
Woo,
Rich
Rich.
Nice.
Oh, man, bro. It's breaking my heart, man.
And Commissioner Gordon was with us.
Wow.
Lonnie Light's dad.
Wow.
And you were recording, and you wanted to. I never saw no shit like this. You were recording, and Eric wanted to take a break. Don't worry, you ain't got to remember. I got you. I know.
Yeah,
I know what it's like.
I'm like, which billion session was this?
Right. Maybe this will remind you.
Okay.
And this is when I got a whole new perspective on who you are as a human being, more so than just an artist. Because your vigor, you wanted to leave the studio, the confines of being between those walls. Y'all were in a session. I'm not sure what project you were recording. The one, maybe,
yeah,
or even
no.
It
might
was
have been
sooner.
a day in the life.
It was sooner than the one.
Yeah. It was then, like when I was working with all the Roots cats,
that
like
was
James Poyser and
Victor
Amir,
Duplay.
Victor Duplay,
Yep.
and all of them. Yeah,
Carvin was there.
Carvin,
Dre.
Yep.
All of those guys were there.
Yeah.
And you said, I want to get outside. And we went downtown Philly.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to know, what did I do
I
next?
love the way I'm telling this story.
Right.
And we went to downtown Philly. You knew of a spot. There was an event happening. I was like, Gordon, what are we doing, man? We got to, I was working with an artist too, and I wanted to get him in that session. And he said, man, just follow his lead. Bro, you led us to this gigantic tent. I told you this before. And for some reason, they were doing salsa dancing.
Yeah, man. Yes. Oh, now I remember.
You remember this?
Now I remember.
You remember this?
Yes.
And I was just so out of my element, but it was so amazing.
Yeah.
I never saw that community like that.
Yeah,
it was
man.
big.
It's beautiful.
And he was dancing to the salsa music. He said, "Yo, so hold my beer, Sway."
Right.
And then you went out there and start dancing.
Yes.
Like a professional ballroom dancer.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. You being way generous in this mode.
Okay,
I
went
believe
far.
it.
I went far with that.
I believe it.
Sorry,
Put a little
man.
too much on it.
Did I put a little much on it? Let me take some of the sauce back. All right. No, but you were exceptional. And we stood there, and it opened my mind to a whole lot.
Yeah.
In and about you, I realized I don't know this man as well as I think I do.
That's
you know,
dope.
yeah,
That's
man.
dope.
And so, how did you even get into that kind of dance?
Well, I think, first of all, just that whole era that you're talking about in Philly in the 90s was incredible, because every time I think about that time, it in my mind, it must be what it was like in Motown in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Because literally you would be in a session and somebody would come in and say, yo, this is a new girl that so-and-so signed. She just said she wants to sit in on your session. And this new girl would come in. It'd be Jill Scott.
It'd be Jill Scott.
Yeah.
And then it'd be Erica Badu. And then James Poyser would be like, yo, when they were doing Miseducation of Lauren, or when they were working on D'Angelo's record. It was just an insane energy. So back on what you were saying, I think when you're in this profoundly creative movement and wave, you're very in touch with, yo, I need inspiration right now. And I've tapped out my inspiration in this room right now. Sometimes you have to remove yourself from a room or a space or a person, and it's just going to ignite a whole nother vibe. And I remember particularly on that album, we were working on like a song. It was called "Why You Follow Me." So the song had like a Latin like salsa feel, and something about that culture in particular. It's not about when you go. Have you ever been to like a? Well, you have.
I have.
You go to a salsa club. It's so not about the personality or the let me post up, and it's all about, yo, we came to enjoy this music, and a girl can walk up to a guy and dance, and it's not about having some sexual advance or anything. It's like, no, I just want to dance right now.
Yeah.
So I remember what you're talking about. I was like, yo, I need to tap into that right now, where it's all about the music. It's unpretentious. It's just like, let me ride a music wave right now, where people are riding a music wave.
Yeah.
And then I think I took that energy back, and you take that back to the studio.
And then you produce a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised by this too, Eric, because even in your last project, The One, going back like 10 years ago, you were experimenting with a bit of country.
Yes.
You were experimenting with bit of reggae, you know? And
Yeah.
so you have proven that you're a multi-dimensional artist, and Black music lives in all of these spaces. Is there a genre still that you have yet to dip your toe in and experiment with that might be seen, heard on Duets?
That's so dope that you asked this question. I mean, because change is evolution, and as long as you're just not allowing other genres and other styles and other spices to affect what you do, you're going to stay stagnant. And I remember on this particular project that will be coming out soon, it's a Duets project. I remember I was with my man Terry, who's right over there. We were at a writing retreat, at JBR. We did this really dope writers camp where we just we just invited all these incredible writers and producers, and we rented this house in Palm Springs, and it was beautiful. And it was same kind of situation, as you described, Sway. It was like we were writing and everything was going good, and I was like, yo, I got to step out. And then I was like, let's go get some coffee. And while we were driving to go get the coffee, for whatever reason, I was like, I never wrote a bossa nova joint, like an old Sergio Mendes, like Carlos Jobim. I'm gonna write a bossa nova joint.
Wow.
Went back, wrote this bossa nova joint, and man, it feels so good and so authentic. And that's just to tap on what you're saying. I think you always need to be, yo, I never did that type vibe before, so. Yes, to answer your question.
Even opera, because I saw on your
Yes.
Instagram.
Oh my God.
You could do that easily.
Yeah, sometimes I mess around with it, but just growing up, my dad, I grew up in this household where my dad had this extensive classical music collection and all these operas and all these sonatas and so I was like immersed in that too. So it's like even in my R&B, I like to, the running gag in the studio is like, Eric's gonna probably try to put some strings on this, because it's like, I always hear
like that classical,
I do. I always hear, even if it's like a real like stanky funky like thing, I always hear like orchestration in it. So can't always afford it because that shit is expensive. But
no more Warner Brothers.
No, right? I gotta pay for it myself now.
Fund the brother.
Right,
Fund the brother. Fund the brother records.
Exactly. Exactly.
The other thing, I haven't, and I could be mistaken. You can correct me. I love correction. You don't I haven't heard a whole lot with hip hop artists, right?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Cause for me, I felt like I respect the genre too much to feel like, yo, as an R&B artist, because hip hop is this movement and it's the voice of the younger generation, I always kind of felt kind of pandering to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like
organic, right?
Yeah, I feel like I do what I do, and I'm always down for like a collaboration if somebody like asks me or want to.
You did a joint with Wayne, Redbone
Yeah,
Girl.
yeah. We did this joint with Wayne, and it's like I've always just felt like I need to. My creative statement has always been like singing, live instrumentation, and So
Yeah.
I think it's just more of a like me not really wanting to like pander to a vibe or a style.
I think of Eric Benet. Eric Benet is here, by the way, man. Get this man a big round of applause. And I think of when you first came out in I want to say 96-ish area,
yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, R&B in 96,
Man.
Baby.
Man.
The baby making music time.
Man, for real.
96 R&B, man. We've been aching for that ever since, right?
Yeah.
Who was out at that time? Who were considered your competitors?
In 96, it was it was like Maxwell. It was
Blackstreet.
Remember Black Black. Yes, Black. Remember Tony Rich?
Tony Rich.
Tony Rich had a whole lot.
Nobody knows.
Right.
me.
Yeah. Who pulled that one up?
DB,
That was
right
me
there.
singing.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
sorry.
I was like, that's good. I mean, the singing was
gas.
questionable, but
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's my man Eric right there.
I was trying to think of the Tony Rich.
In case you thought.
He was like, that wasn't exactly the song, but
A few octaves and keys we
there
got
we
to
go.
work on.
Yeah. You got the point.
The words were right.
Right.
Yeah,
They was on. Yes. No, but yeah, it was a time of music for music's sake and romance and love, and it was Now I'm sounding like an old man.
Nah, man.
No.
In 96, we was saying the same shit, though. Like,
That's true.
Right? It's this, so it's the whole concept of age.
Yeah.
We have to redefine that for ourselves, because when you put
Preach.
it's a scarlet letter that comes with it. It's energy that comes with it. We
It
say
really is.
Years old.
Yeah.
And you're not old.
Young,
You're
bro.
young.
Yes.
You're just years on this planet.
Yeah.
Let's
Years
talk-
wise.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, man. I'm
Okay.
looking at you. You looking healthy. You look like you rolling back the clock. Like, what is your regimen? Like some people.
Eric Benet, man.
Yo,
I love it.
ask him, Eric. Ask him.
No, but like some people, it's like, no, it's more of a spiritual thing and the positivity. And the other people are like, nah, I got to make sure I'm not doing my dairy. I cut my sugar down and alcohol. Like, what is it for you?
I stopped with the alcohol.
Boom.
Okay.
Thank you
I
for
wasn't a
saying
big drinker anyway, but
Can I'm
Yep.
gonna let you finish, Sway.
Okay, go ahead.
But wait. But the thing about alcohol,
Okay.
is it's like the wine industry and the beer industries. They want you to believe that a couple once and now and then ain't so bad. It is bad. Your body do not want alcohol in it.
It doesn't.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't. And if you try to repair your body after the alcohol, it takes days before you even get the alcohol out your system.
Thank you, sir.
And when you reach a certain age, that ain't working in your favor.
And the
Thank you.
hangovers are horrible.
Yo, this guy's speaking from experience.
Like, I am.
Right.
But I try to cut out the sugar.
Boom.
The sugar is poison.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Thank you.
poison we're
Thank
putting in
you.
our body constantly.
Man,
I'm trying
Saying
to
everything. Go ahead.
drink moving water or water that's in bottles. I don't like drinking water that
Glass
sits in
bottles.
plastic bottles. I'm talking glass bottles.
Man, you preaching right
Yo,
now.
and let me tell you something, man.
This is what we need to be telling our people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wake up in the morning, I drop down, I do some sets of push-ups, I do some core work, and I push myself after a few days. If I haven't done nothing,
See?
I got to run.
See?
So I got to
Sometimes you don't feel like it.
You
do
don't feel like, and it's a conversation we do got to have for people who's coming to this stage in your life. You want to take the biggest, best investment you can make. It ain't in your car. It ain't in your house. It ain't in those chains.
Dude.
It ain't even in your spouse.
Man.
It's in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so
on,
I
man.
came to that conclusion. And I come from Oakland. I'm an athlete. I was an athletic too. I got to be able to move like you was moving when you was doing that salsa.
Yeah.
So that's my regimen. What's yours? Because you haven't changed.
Everything you just said is gospel, because being in this industry as long as I have, you and I have seen so many of our contemporaries who felt invincible. in their 20s and in their 30s. And it's like, oh, at the end of the set, I'm going to go drink. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to smoke that. You know, I'm going to catch a half hour sleep on the flight. You know, no, bro, you can't do that. That's why you ain't here right now. That's why you fell off.
Yeah.
So everything you just said, I cut out the sugar. I cut out the alcohol. I make sure that I'm working out. I make sure that I'm drinking water. Soda is poison. Sugar is poison. You know, not to tell anybody what to eat because there's different philosophies, but I personally cut out beef and pork, and I'm very careful on the fish that I eat. Make sure it's wild, you know,
Wild caught, baby.
Wild caught, you know. So it's like you got to have that in the forefront of your intention and your action these days because, my wife and I, we got a 12 and a 10-year-old. I plan on not only seeing the grandkids, but I plan on playing hopscotch with them. You know, when I'm in my 90s, and it's possible. So,
well, hopscotch in your 90s, so
wow, and I just grabbed that out of
it. That's a great visual.
Maybe it'll be virtual hopscotch in 2060 or whenever the shit that's gonna be.
I think another thing that contributes to your vitality as well is leading into the technology of today, like staying informed.
That was important.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And personally, I love the way that you use your Instagram because I think it is such a sweet delight that you are such a jokester, in my opinion.
I ain't got no sense.
Since you've been with us here, we have been freaking cackling. And I know that there was one post, I got it. Some other folks didn't get it. I think it was back in April where you were in the hot tub.
Oh, yeah.
In the bathtub.
In the bathtub. I be in the bathtub, be having epiphanies and shit.
With the bubbles and pearls.
Right.
And
that should be the name. I should do a whole show.
Bubbles and
Pearls. That's what she just coined.
like bubbles and pearls. I like that.
Hey, Netflix, get at me. Bubbles and Pearls with Eric Benet.
Since you haven't seen it, Eric Benet was like, yo, I know y'all think of me for my soprano that I do so well, but I have the full range. I could go down some octaves too. But some folks, they was like, yo, the visual mixed with the sounds, like, is Eric Benet okay?
Is he okay?
Like, yeah. Do you feel like people get these additional layers to who you are, especially because of the music you make? When it's about love, people think you can't be silly as well. Yeah,
that's wild to me. But good point. It's like it's amusing. It makes it even more amusing for me when I'm silly or I do something off the cuff, and it's like, yo, you need to just go sing a song or whatever. I find it funny that people think you have to be like this one thing, but you know, I've always been like class clown. I'm the youngest of 5 kids, so you know I'm always goofing off and. Oh yeah.
Bubbles and pearls.
Bubbles and pearls. On the next edition of Bubbles and Pearls with Eric Benet.
You do a cover of Prince, Diamond and Pearls.
All hands, hoist the colors high. Heave-ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die.
Somebody go check on him.
Oh, wow.
It's all them people. Somebody go give him some milk or something. Something wrong with Eric Benet, y'all.
What's wrong with EB, man? What's going on with EB? Yo, it's just significant. You even wear the pearls.
Bubbles and Pearls. That's the show.
Oh, okay.
Bubbles and I can have my guests sitting maybe not in the bathtub with me, but
or bathtub next to you.
Bathtub next to me. There we go. Or in the shower.
Yeah, there you go.
If I want to, you know,
shower next to you.
Premiering on OnlyFans.
Right.
Bubbles and Pearls, the X-rated version.
Subscription only.
Man.
Well, so what's up with the significance of the pearls? Because you wear them in the tub too.
Yeah, it's great. he's like, no, dude, let's talk. Like, what's up with the pearls? I don't know. It's like getting back on the fashion thing. It's like sometimes I'll get like on one thing. Like I remember there was like this one black motorcycle jacket that I would never take it off, and it was like 3 years where I wouldn't take that jacket off. And then once the black jacket was over, I ain't wore it since. And it's probably the same thing with the
Okay.
pearls. I put them on one day, and there's something just off enough about it that I liked. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to rock this
I
shit.
love it.
Yeah, it's off enough.
Yeah,
Gotta
it's
be off enough.
It got to be off enough.
Got to be off enough. You hear
Yeah.
that, nephew? King
Yeah.
Texan in here, Isaiah. I just wanted to learn.
Hey,
from
that's
you.
another phrase with just off enough.
Off
okay,
enough.
we need to
Just
start
off
to
enough.
just off. All right, see, look at that. We productive.
We're productive. So let me ask you this. It's been a minute. Been what, 10 years?
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, probably like 8 since
15
the last single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens in the 8 years in between that a musician, an artist, wouldn't put out music?
Well, that's an excellent question, man. It's like part of me, and I don't know. See, there's a difficult way to answer this question without sounding like slightly a old curmudgeon old man. But when you come from the era that you and I came from, and you look at what these CEOs are doing on the streaming platforms, and I'm got to be careful.
Well, you are on one.
I am kind of on one
safe.
right now.
You're safe. Speak your
But
mind.
psychologically, especially where we come from an era where music was something that we held so much reverence for. Like if we wanted a song, we had to go to the record store and flip through the crates and the tactile senses of holding that album, looking at the artwork and reading the liner notes. There was just a whole reverence for that. And it just, I don't know, it just seems like nowadays it turned into something where you just do what you do. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, and you kind of throw it out there for free.
Yeah.
And I think it was a psychological thing I just had to get around.
Like a hurdle, right?
Yeah, a hurdle where it's like, you mean to tell me I'm going to do this, that, and the other, and these CEOs over at Spotify or whatever, they making all this money. And at the end of the day, I never stopped writing music.
Okay.
It was like it was a conscious decision since I partnered with Allison. Allison, who actually gave me my first record deal, my second record deal,
Wow.
and now she and I created this company called JBR.
Okay.
And I was content over the last 8 years without just touring the world and doing my songs and making my money that way. But Allison was like, boy, you need to go in the studio and do a record. And so we decided to do it a different way this time. I'm like, well, if I'm going to do it, it's great that I now own the record label. So
Yeah.
But if we're going to sign other artists, it needs to be more of a partnership with the artists. More of a share in the success as opposed to let me exploit your talent. So that made it easy for me to be like, you know what, then let me make a record that feels timely and relevant now, but is still reminiscent of the greatness of the 90s that we were talking about, and do it with all these other young, incredibly talented women. So it's a duets record with just me and incredible female artists. And the first single is with my sister,
Yes.
my girl, my cousin,
Beautiful voice.
Tamar.
Yeah.
Tamar Braxton.
Yeah, it's just time.
What's the name of the single?
The name of the single is Something We Can Make Love To.
So, your own music is. Do you make love to your own music?
No, absolutely
All
not.
right, y'all with your voice, right? Like if you heard yourself saying, "Hey,
Hey,
baby,"
turn that shit off, man. Because as a producer and a songwriter, like even if you play one of my songs right now, I could vibe to it, but my brain automatically goes to that session. It's like, damn,
Yeah.
I should have turned them backgrounds up a little bit. Oh, why didn't we put the guitar right there?
Yeah.
And I'm still like producing shit. So
the treble, the snare ain't warm enough.
exactly.
Yeah.
But aside from that, like it's just weird to hear like my voice singing when I'm trying to.
Yeah.
A little narcissistic.
Yeah, there may be other artists that are into that type of shit.
Really? Okay, good. So if I
It's like having a
if
threesome with
I ever hear
yourself.
your voice in the background, I'm turning it off.
No offense, sir. None. No offense.
Before we let you go, because we got to continue to do this, and now that you're independent, you can always use this platform to promote whatever you want to do.
Man, you better say that one more time, because I'm gonna cash that check.
Man, cash it, brother. It's good money too.
Cash that check, because we got an artist coming out, Joe Leone. He's an incredible singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and we coming out with his single. We're signing like 3 other artists this year. Nice. Allison and I, we on a rampage.
You on a rampage?
We on a rampage.
Make sure they dope though. If you gonna bring them here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Because I know you clown them quick, man. But,
it won't go well.
Thank you for coming. Goodbye.
Yeah.
It won't go well.
Good luck with that.
How has fatherhood influenced your pen game?
Oh my God, fatherhood influences anything that involves emotion or sentiment or appreciating every moment that you have on this life. Mm-hmm. Fatherhood will just accentuate all of that.
Yeah.
Because when you get to this age and you realize just how fast, in the blink of an eye, it literally feels like 2 years ago, my little girl, so this year she's going into the 7th grade.
Ooh.
And I swear to God, it feels like 2 years ago she was 5.
Yeah, yeah.
It's such a painfully sad but beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So that affects my pen game, where every moment just means more. And I think that always translates to how you speak and how you act and how you just walk through your day. Yeah. So it affects everything.
Every moment means more.
Boom. Look at that.
Another one.
That's another one. Every moment means more. Bubbles and pearls. What was it?
Yeah, bubbles and pearls.
And that was another
Just
one.
enough off.
Just enough off.
Just off enough.
Sorry,
Just off enough. There you go. Just off enough.
So now we got that documented. All right, because none of us are going to remember it in 30 seconds. Go ahead, Tracy.
I was going to say those are 3 new singles you could put down the pipeline.
They are lyrics. They are strong
Those are
lyrics,
man.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, I love you, brother. If I never
Likewise,
told you, man.
I love
Good
you
to
too,
see you,
Sway.
man.
That's what's up, man.
Anytime, come back up. This is Eric Benet.
Oh, we coming back.
Okay. Listen, something we can make love to will be out this Friday.
Yeah, man. Y'all need to do your thing to it. Do the vertical Kazatsky. Do the horizontal Kazatsky.
Okay.
Do the Kazatsky where you standing up, or however you do your particular Kazatskis.
Okay, you got to do them. I don't know what that is. But, and then Duets is the title of the album?
Yes.
Okay.
So far, until we think of something better.
Okay. Something better.
Yeah.
Oh!
Man, you are beast mode.
Man, come on,
Beast mode.
It's a rebirth.